Do you want to make a post while I get started on the pick ban in the Facebook group? Rich Horde.
Sure.
All right.
I don't know exactly how much casting I'll be doing, but I'll try to
Okay.
share some statements every here and there.
Yeah. You've already cast or at least spectated one game today.
I
But yeah.
played in the first one.
Oh my God. He's an inside man. But yeah, anyways, so this will be February 21st, a UMD College Park League of Legends in-house game co-casted for fun by C9 Highest Balls and myself, Sprintspeed. And I say co-casted, it's more casual, but it's just more of a casual affair in general.
Yeah, I'll likely just be talking about
their builds.
The builds, some of the mechanics that they use, maybe some tips and tricks in general. For the most part, these games are relatively high level. I believe 8 out of 10 members here are Diamond, or at least were Diamond last season, so it's a relatively high level game.
Indeed. I'll mostly be talking about how much I like spaghetti. Spoiler, the answer is a lot. But anyways, Asbury banning some interesting champions. Shinzao and Zed. I mean, they have seen buffs recently. Shinzao obviously getting the crit on the third Talon Strike proc. And Zed is slightly stronger, I believe, with the Duskblade of Drakthar. But not champions that we've really seen be super popular in the pro scene by any means.
Soraka being banned out. Soraka's becoming quite popular. She's an extremely annoying champion to play against, and when you do go against a Soraka, you kind of have to throw a bunch of resources directly at killing her every team fight. And laning phase is extremely oppressive when she has essentially an infinite health pool, so you're pretty much guaranteed to win lane with Soraka, or at the very minimum, go even in farm.
Yeah, we'll see if if blue team's able to win lane as a result of it being taken away, or who will come out ahead in that respect. Looks like the LeBlanc going to be the first pick here. Also, Malphite. Kog'Maw is super strong with his recent buffs to his W. But Malphite also pretty common ban. He's super strong just because, obviously, of the unstoppable force. You don't necessarily have to really win lane on Malphite to be relevant in team fights. Against double 80 carry compositions, Malphite in particular is very, very scary. But Alistar, very similar in that regard, just getting that guaranteed ability to engage. Also, He's a cow, and who doesn't like playing cows? Very good at turret diving, which when you play pretty fun, a little more freeform, solo queue-esque in-house type games over tournament games, turret diving is a lot of times more often seen. Meanwhile,
says this channel is looking ugly as fuck.
Oh my goodness. Anyways, now that I'm done yelling at Julia, there's a reason why she's not a mod on this channel. Yeah, anyways, Alawi and Bard? Nah. They're going to go for the Echo, but Alawi is a really interesting champion that does mean we'll probably see Nautilus in the jungle. What are your thoughts on Nautilus compared to strong early game junglers like Lee Sin, Rek'Sai, and the Elise that has been locked in by Seki?
I think Nautilus is just too easy to invade early on. You pop his shield, he has nothing. And his shield's on a pretty long cooldown early game. I think it's something around 14 to 16 seconds. And it's essentially all of his damage. So once you break that, he has a lot of trouble clearing camps. You can literally just walk over to him, pop his shield, smite a camp, and leave. And then he's kind of left with nothing. Or you can just kill him, too.
They do also pick that Braum Poppy, so they have a lot of disengage on the blue side. Not the best engage itself, but with the Corki, they might be able to use that package instead to just be able to get in there.
Yeah, this is actually probably one of the first games I've ever seen both teams be pretty heavily AP sided. I guess you still
Fairly
get to see the
interesting.
AD carry of the other team, but
I guess Abyssal Scepters on
Abyssal
the
Scepters
likes
all
of
around.
Elise and the LeBlancs, super happy. Also, Aegis of the Legion, obviously. I do think Alawi benefits. I do think Alawi is fairly strong when playing against AP heavy teams, just because the Spirit Visage gives you the CDR and the bonus healing from your tentacles, and it really allows her to excel in her strong suits. Anyways, yeah, so the last pick is going to be the Ezreal. I think that's the last pick. They're swapping around a bit while I was typing, but looks like he will be on their team. Ezreal, very popular nowadays. People have actually stopped going for the Thunderlord's Decree, even though Ezreal is one of the easiest champions to proc it, in favor of the Fervor of Battle, because Mystic Shot and Essence Flux do stack 2 stacks. They do charge up 2 stacks of that Fervor of Battle, so when you get into longer team fights, it becomes much more useful in that respect. But we have not seen the same thing from Corki.
Yeah, Corki is very bursty, so Thunderlords by far benefits him more. In terms of, I guess, consistent DPS in team fights, Ezreal will do a lot better with Fervor. Okay, let's see. One thing that I notice immediately about blue team is, or to be honest about both teams, is they kind of both have mediocre wave. I guess Corki is
Right.
definitely stronger than the other team's wave clear. I guess Alawi Q plus Echo Q can clear a wave too, probably. But no one's like a super
Very
solid
safe
game.
long range wave clear, like you often might see from the likes of Lux or other mid lane / top lane champions. No Lissandras coming through here, or Lulus. Those are tryhard champions.
Yeah,
Yep.
Lulu, to be honest, is not fun to play. Or at least in my opinion. Lulu is just really not fun to play, but she's so strong that she's kind of a staple to learn how to play. Especially, in my opinion, solo queue, now that Kog'Maw is such a monster. Lulu is often also always picker ban along with Kog'Maw. Same thing with Janna and Soraka.
I almost let this completely slip through. We don't actually have an Echo in the mid lane, but we actually have a Nautilus mid going against the LeBlanc, which sounds like a very fun time. We'll see how Asbury matches up against SKT Challenger. I have never seen a Nautilus mid. He does actually do decent amounts of damage. I think the only question is, can he actually get a dredge line to hit LeBlanc?
Yeah.
If he does get it mid-dash through LeBlanc, that should interrupt her distortion damage. However, that's a bit of a challenge in and of itself. I also do think, like you mentioned, it'll be pretty... There's a lot of pressure on Elise, Seki, to be able to have higher pressure than on Nautilus. Perhaps go for any early invades.
Yeah, since this is Nautilus mid, I guess it's kind of a balance. For him, it's a balance between using his shield to block damage or using it a little bit later in order to keep it up so he can actually trade back. LeBlanc does have to dash towards him, and it's pretty telegraphed where he can definitely land his E. His auto attack might be a little difficult to land if LeBlanc quickly just, QWs and Ws back instantly, since his auto attack windup is actually really long. So we'll see how he ends up playing that out. I believe at level 6, though, Nautilus can pretty much one-shot LeBlanc if he has a clean dredge line.
I have seen some of the legends of the AP Nautilus going for that Rod of Ages, Abyssal Scepter. Yes. Things like the Zanya's Hourglass that allow you to I've seen it once or twice. Not gonna say it's the optimal mid lane pick. You do get decent wave clear out of your E, although obviously when you're talking about wave clear in terms of a 5 versus 5 team composition, that's pretty dangerous wave clear. You don't really want to usually go out that far.
Yeah, Nautilus's ultimate has an 80.8% or an 80% AP ratio, so it's pretty freaking high, and it's super high base damage at 450. So yeah, Nautilus ult has quite a bit of potential to one-shot people.
I want to point out I do like these the skins on the red team. Actually, on both teams, they have several quite nice ones, and I need to change the settings so that we're actually into game. Oops, these are the wrong logos. But anyways, we will be getting into game now for this February 21st in-house between. What names do you want to give these teams? Oftentimes I like to give them little fun names of the night, so we can refer to them easily instead of just reading. Maybe the team that has all 5 of their trinkets and the team that doesn't.
All right, so I guess blue side will be the team that actually buys team that buys pretty fast.
Team trinkets. Red team could be team slow team.
Alright, team slow and team fast.
Maybe they're just trying to cosplay Testudo, Fear the Turtle,
yes,
you know?
Of course, and they're red too, so they already have that
Our
advantage as well.
very own mascot.
How does it feel attending the school as Rammus as their mascot, while Rammus has the highest win ratio in the top lane at the moment at 57%?
That's obviously a sign that we are going to do well in ULOL. I think we are actually... I know we were second. We might be first place in our group.
Oh, nice.
That would be freaking fantastic, especially trying to get athletic support for the team from the University of Maryland.
Yes, and then
One of the...
also... Or no, finish what you're saying?
Well, I was just going to say that if we're showing up as the top team in our group for this tournament that gets 60,000 views a week, that goes a long way to getting the college pretty interested in what our club is doing, so I'm pretty happy. Oh my goodness, look at the percent damage Cars is actually putting down onto Glorious Spook. They're just gonna keep going at it one after the other. Cars is gonna be able to get the shield if he wants it. The first blood goes to the Tristana, even though Ilawi almost turned that around with her tentacle.
Whew. What's age grade?
That was pretty intense there. Cars, no fear. He actually could have picked up his the rest of his shield from the passive. But he did not want to let Ilawi escape by any means, so instead goes for that super aggro kill. And meanwhile in the mid lane again, LeBlanc and Nautilus trying to trade back and forth. Looks like Asbury does have a slight advantage in terms of health and remaining potions. But in the bottom side, both sides are level 2. Looks like neither team went super aggressive. Braum is one of the champions I do believe does slightly better against the Alistar. Just because when Alistar engages, oh my god, Asbury actually goes in, the Nautilus shield does come out, but it is not enough. SKT Challenger goes down for the second blood of the game. Meanwhile, I do well, going to the top side saying, we need revenge. Look at Spook Nuke.
This is quite a bloody game.
Already 3 kills, only 3 minutes in. This is what I like to see.
Yeah, it's cool seeing people actually be aggressive and not just farm it out. I feel like the purpose of normal games / in-house is kind of to test the limits of your champion. This is when you need to try going stupid aggressive. If you die, well then you know, okay, maybe I shouldn't do that next time.
In the actual tournament games or ranked mode.
Yeah.
Sergeant Crayon does get that Thunderlord's proc, but actually takes a lot of minion damage. It's gonna be hurting a little bit there. As Rita Holic eyes her with her mean cow horns. All said and done, Ilawi does actually deny Tristana, or not Tristana, Poppy about 15 CS. Just because teleport was already used. So, pretty nice early game lead for her. She's going to start building toward that Phage even. Elise coming out of her jungle saying, alright, maybe I should actually do something going forward with this game. Rushes for that Hunter's Potion instead of finishing the actual jungle item. And in the mid lane, Asbury getting a little bit more aggressive on the Nautilus. He has 1 kill, able to get that fiendish Codex. Oh man, here comes XAT Challenger! Oh no! He does manage to get out of there. Seki not following up with an instant stun, but that ward does hop away. Cars going in again for an extra poke with his little Q. And even though allowing...
Nothing to this bush. And this will be a successful game.
Oh my goodness.
Pulverized into a parallel conversion. In nice, I believe, 2.5 to 3 seconds of just raw stun.
Really good follow-up and engage from follow-up on the engage from Breedaholic there. Tentacles trying to keep Cars at bay, but really nice job by Aigual just being able to sneak in brush undetected. Keep going aggressive again. It's only Elise and Braum here. Are they going to be able to actually proc the concussive blows? They do get it. I don't know if Seki has enough damage to actually finish him off here. Oh, meanwhile, Asbury saying, are you the Alistair? Because I am feasting right now. Getting that beef for himself. Already up 2-0, and that gives him about an 800 gold lead. Oh, wait, I cannot math. 600 gold lead.
Close enough. Asbury was down in CS for quite some time.
Oh no!
Snapple going in.
Snapple, why?
Kind of not on the same page. I believe Sergeant Cran can get this double kill here relatively easily. Alistar is out of mana, but he decides to run away.
He's a little afraid. Speaking of being afraid, Car is feeling the might of that minion wave, and Seki gets shooed away. Go back into your own jungle, Spider. I don't, is this Alawi something Spooknook's been practicing? Because he knows exactly how to trade with this Poppy, and Cars is frankly a little bewildered, I feel. I'm certainly bewildered at how effective this Alawi is being so far. Ooh, ganked by Mom. Does get a Thunderlord's proc of his own, so he actually didn't go for a battle, it looks like. But Sergeant Crane getting a little low.
Ooh, and the Poppy Q is used in order to stop it. Ooh, the chase and the graphically and dying. Giving her just a bit of extra damage and health to survive. Sadly, not able to survive the echo damage as well. So, pretty well played from Poppy there.
Saying not like this, Asbury goes in again, just trying to slowly eke out an advantage over Nautilus. Nautilus is feeling a bit of the pain, but he's able to trade a little bit better right now. Aigual in the mid lane. He actually has a few deep wards. They're going to go in here. Asbury, does he get locked down inside the parallel convergence? No, but he does get hit and flashed by the enemy team. Aigual going to finish that up with a smite of his own, and Notorious Spook not really doing much with his teleport, but it was answered by the Poppy as well, so both teams kind of wasting some of their cooldowns, but in the end, red team getting 1 kill of their own.
Yeah, definitely. Aigual is making a lot of pivotal plays this game, really showing up where he can make things happen, getting kills and setting his lanes ahead. Even though Poppy was down, I think, on the order of 30 CS at the beginning of the game, or maybe it was just 20, even though they got the first blood, Aigual has managed to pretty much push the advantage back into Spooknook's favor. But after Poppy just picked up those 2 kills, not so much anymore. There is still a 20 CS differential, which is roughly a kill and a quarter though. So Notorious Spook is actually not that far behind.
Yeah, he's pretty happy with himself, I imagine. Meanwhile, Kogi does have the package. Instead of going for an actual play across the map, he's just going to hold that onto that end of the lane. I'm a little curious to see if he's going to really use it before it wears out to harass in this lane. He's not really calling his jungler down because at least he's busy top lane. I don't think they have vision of the Echo, but it looks like he is gonna, everyone's gonna converge on here. Elise does use that repel to get out of there a little bit, and they're gonna be tentacle slapping that little spider. A nice unbreakable by Snapple. Oh my gosh, Corki actually goes Valkyrie in aggressively. He's taking a lot of minion damage, and Gangbang gonna try to be able to get the, oh my goodness! Looks like Corki falls down first, and now it's just a slap of the supports. I don't know who's gonna come out ahead here, but Rita Hawk is completely out of mana. Snapple trying to get away with murder again. On the top side at the same time, both the top players and the junglers are completely duking it out separately. Wow wins, but Cars wins on the other side, so every lane is trading advantages back and forth. And Notorious Spook trying to get the lifesteal. Oh, Aigu.
So close. Maybe if he could just last a tiny bit longer and just let Aigu finish up the kill. Deadly greed is a thing that most of us suffer from.
I certainly do. Aigu is actually in 5 out of 7 of the kills in this game so far, so doing a really nice job himself. Rita Holic also going in a little ham there onto Snapple, trying to assert her bovine dominance. Not really. Snapple just kind of stays around though. Not too afraid of that. Oh man, Asbury actually wards his wolves. Does he know that Aigu is nearby? He doesn't. Aigu just gonna ward that up and head back on to his own jungle. He does have a few minions to do, but does he want to really gank the mid lane? I'm not sure if they can really lock down Asbury. Dredgeline misses, so that is going to be nothing. I'm a little curious to see how well Alawi's going to do going forward into the team fights, because, I mean, she does do a ton of damage. However, it's just the issue of, can the tentacles really stick on her targets?
Yeah,
right now,
Alawi's team fight is very heavily based on her ultimate. If she gets a great ultimate, she'll be practically invincible, heal a lot, do plenty of damage. If she gets a bad ultimate, she kind of just swings tentacles around, doesn't really do very much, and becomes super lackluster. Whereas this Poppy is just always this mean, tanky damage machine.
and now Kar's actually taking double damage because she's standing next to her own little spirit guy. But it looks like Seki does get a nice stun off. That's going to be another kill. Poppy is 5-3. Not like this. SKG Challenger trying to get a little bit of revenge here. The Titan of the Depths goes in. Oh man, Asbury gets a kill. Is Dangerous Game going to be enough? Not quite. He just walks forward, gets the Ignite, and casually strolls on out of there. Pays for it with his own life. Was he able to get out there? I'm not sure if his Dredgeline was up to try to hook the right.
Yeah, I wasn't paying too much attention to it, and his flash was not up yet. It's about to be up.
Oh no, Notorious Spook! I don't know what he's doing, but it does pop the ultimate. This is what you were talking about. They do land a lot of the damage. That last tentacle completely missed though. Oh man, he does finish off the little spirit clone onto Seki. So he does get a little bit of that slow. I don't know if he's really gonna be able to gap those enough. Oh. Yes, he uses the W auto attack modifier to gap those on the minions, and then finishes off with the Q of his own. Cards comes in now, formerly named Sack, the artist formerly known as him. Cars, however, is taking double damage from all these tentacles, again standing next to his own clone. The Notorious Spook needs tentacles to land. Cars use the heroic charge. Gets out of range of those, and Poppy not getting us slathered all over today.
Yeah, not quite sure what this build from Notorious Spook is.
Oh man, another Unbreakable stops the Israel ultimate Pokemon. SKT Challenger falls again. Poor Nautilus. All he wants to do this game, I'm sure, is land some hooks, but he's feeling the pain of that LeBlanc. Oh man, are you having fun? This is a little BM there. A little unnecessary, if you will. Sergeant Crown, meanwhile, going in really aggressively against his enemy. Wow, barely pops the ultimate to be able to get out of that lane. And now the last Corki Rocket does miss. That does mean they might not be able to pick up because they do get one. Seki gets the maximum range repel out, gets one kill. Here comes the parallel conversion. This Aigu's gonna be able to round on it. Looks like no. Hasbury trying to tell the team, come on, man, that's not all in the good spirit of fun. He's trying to show off some of his LeBlanc skills. However, against an astronaut might be a little difficult. He hasn't really had much difficulty so far.
And I don't really see the problem of a person playing LeBlanc in-house. People can play whatever they want, and if they feel like tryharding, sure, they can try hard. It's the place for you to try things and have fun, but all in a friendly manner.
Yeah, I think some of this chat's a little unnecessary. Oh man, here comes the support. First, the top laner. Snapple feeling pretty confident, maybe a little too much so. Looks like LeBlanc gonna try to go in and finish up SKT Challenger, but he does have the team trying to block some of that damage himself. Readaholic actually headbutt Seki away, maybe for the better, and gets headbutted out himself. But here comes the Corky package. Sergeant Crayon does pick up that one Nautilus. Notorious Spook gonna be able to help out a little bit with the wave clear. I'm not actually sure how well Ilaoi can one-shot waves with her tentacles, but she does have decent range with it.
Yeah, I think this mid tower is definitely going to go down now. Most of the players on Team Testudo or Team Slow have recalled, and all that's left is really just this Alice.
Oh no, Rita, not like this! She goes in to try to harass a little bit, but she's just a cow. What could she possibly do against 4 sentient humanoids? And she pays the ultimate price. Gonna fall herself. Take a little nap in that soft grass. You know, Alpha's model looks like he's just returning as a normal cow. Lying down, enjoying the breeze.
Taking a nap.
Indeed, she's relaxing. It's a little tired out there. Sergeant Crayon gonna get knocked up by the ultimate this time from the Nautilus. But LeBlanc is off the backside, and she is huge right now. Igawao does get a good ultimate off. Not gonna be enough. And Asbury doing work in that fight. They all pumped up for that. Oh! Nice ultimate by King. Oh, that flash from Notorious Spook. Gonna be able to cap those a little bit. Cars, meanwhile, gonna try to turn it back around. Tentacle does not land.
Completely denied by Poppy.
Yeah, everyone's just continuing to fight for the heck of it. ARAM mode enabled. Unfortunately, the blue team does have OP Corky. Looks like Team Trinket gonna be pulling ahead here. That is an ace, and now they're 6 kills up. This 34 kill game in 17.5 minutes. I do want to point out though that Nautilus went from 1-5 to 3-7, so he is his score is slowly becoming more neutral. So I'm happy that he's able to find some of this relevance.
Going 1-for-1, which isn't ideal, but hey, with all the changes in League, killing people who are on sprees, getting more EXP, all these comeback mechanics that Riot has implemented, going 1-for-1 isn't the end of the world at the moment. Although personally, I'm highly against it.
This is the ultimate experimental playstyle. You see, you just let your enemy mid laner become ahead, and you really challenge your own limits to be able to get back into the game.
I like the classic bot lane strategy where you play Mordekaiser or Yorick or something like that, and you just heavily feed the enemy AD carry, but make sure you have really good assassins either in the jungle or mid lane. Just depend on a really fed Caitlyn to carry it.
And a really nice engage from SKT Challenger does eventually lead to that Corky kill. Unfortunately, Elise not able to land that cocoon quite in time, or quite in position to get Echo off of their AD carry sufficiently. However, Poppy coming in from the front side, this could be pretty dangerous. It's a 4v4 right now, but Igawao is almost getting completely burst out here by the Poppy entirely. Seki now dominating. That's going to scare everyone off of that dragon for Team Testudo. They're going to have to give this away. Unless King Mom going to be trying to do some crazy plays here. I am ready. Asbury is on the side. Readaholic really needs to hold her headbutt to
What
get...
was that?
I'm not sure.
Flashed the wall to proc a single piece of the passive. I'm extremely confused as to why just shooting over the wall was sufficient, especially if they didn't have vision of him.
It's all in the Braum plays. This guy's a master. They are currently winning. However, LeBlanc actually goes all the way in, gets completely destroyed by that Nautilus ultimate. Getting punished a little bit. A really nice Ezreal ultimate ganked by Mom again. True Shot Barrage completely clean through the enemy team. That missing shot, I do believe, actually was not quite in range to finish off that kill. Now Seki, Sergeant Crown going to be the only people left here trying to poke in. But the fight's over. 23 to 18. Looks like the difference in kills is still pretty much the same as it was 5 minutes ago.
And I'm actually curious to see what this Braum is building out of Jarm's Fist. I feel like, based on the play that we just saw, he's probably going for a Frozen Heart or something similar.
That would be pretty interesting.
Frozen Mallet. Frozen Mallet.
Right, obviously Frozen Heart being built by the Glacial Shroud and the Warden's Mail, but getting even more burn slow just before that pickaxe, so looks like he's feeling really chilly today. Wants to spread his love of the North with his fellow comrades and his enemies.
I'm a little surprised that neither team has an Abyssal Scepter yet on anyone, considering that I guess on blue side they're only up against 2 APs, so it's not as important. But on red side, or Testudo, Team Testudo, I really don't see why Nautilus didn't go for a second item, or even first item to be honest. Megatron Cloak is so important against mid laners that have guaranteed damage, and LeBlanc is practically considered guaranteed damage because she's not missing anything.
Especially against a fat champion like Nautilus. However, Notorious Spook is getting hit out by a lot of tentacles himself. He tries to go to the top lane to be able to continue to kite, but that was far away from his tentacles. Aigu Wow comes in and actually gets one kill of his own. Now it's Kars versus Aigu. The ultimate comes out from the Echo, but Kars does so much damage with this BF sword. That is, holy moly, did you see that damage from the Nautilus ultimate?
That's that 0.8 AP scaling with 450 base damage, so that's only 450 at level 3, so at the moment I think it's around 300. Maybe 200 some.
Goodness gracious, Kars now getting pretty close. Does get the range to auto attack onto Aigu, maybe. Oh no, Echo, what are you doing, buddy?
Why did he go back?
Maybe trying to play with his food, but he ended up being the food himself. Asbury gonna be damaging the top lane turret with that red buff a little. Does not have the second dragon buff, but can still apply some kind of burn to the towers. There's actually pretty decent ward coverage from the blue team. If you really look in this topside jungle, they have pretty much complete vision of the enemy movement.
The package is used bot lane, moving past everyone.
Oh!
Gets blocked by the Braum Unbreakable. Very well timed.
Third True Shot Barrage. Third True Shot Barrage I've seen Snapple block simply with that Unbreakable. And the other two Ezreal ultimates I've seen were sniped from across the map, gaining him kills. So these Ezreal ultimates have been really exciting to say the least. Now Asbury does find Aigu Wow. Aigu Wow gonna want to wait for his ultimate to get in range. Tries to make it happen, but no, just has to pop a flash. Now where's Asbury going? Has to hightail it out of there, but a really good knockup by SKT Challenger. If he wants to use the ultimate, that is almost off cooldown. Here comes Sergeant Crayon. Oh my gosh, the Riptide doing a lot of damage as well. Does he want to go switch targets to Sergeant Crayon? They do get him. That is not the target he was really originally looking for, but a kill's a kill, and I think he should be happy. Scores ever increasing neutrality. Now it's 69. Looks like they are going to go in against each other. However, Snapple completely destroys Challenger. Well, actually, it wasn't Snapple. There was more cars on that Poppy doing percent damage. Here comes the Alawi ultimate. A lot of AoE dealing damage to everybody on this blue side. LeBlanc finally coming into this fight. They do pick up Gank by Mom. I don't know if she'll be able to continue chasing. She does have the red buff, but Aigu, wow, goes in himself. That cocoon not quite landing. Seki hitting the mark completely, and Aigu does go down. Freedaholic trying to help him out, but she is just in a large mammoth. What can she do? I'm trying to think of other ways to stay out besides
no, this. I guess technically Elstar is kind of a bull.
Oh, a Minotaur.
Yeah, Minotaur. Yeah.
Yeah, although Minotaurs aren't real animals, I guess, to my knowledge. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I've never seen a Minotaur myself. However,
oh my, extra rare.
I do love my beef extra rare. That's a lie. I usually eat it medium rare. Extra rare is a little too juicy for me, if you know what I mean.
Not gonna lie, I'm not a huge fan of steaks, and when I do get them, I usually try to stray away from raw meat in general, so I usually go for medium or medium well.
Raw meat, generally a good rule of thumb if you want to avoid food poisoning.
Especially if you're from a country other than America where, you know, cleanliness and food standards aren't exactly as high. It's always better to be alive.
Yeah, LeBlanc, oh my goodness, the ultimate from the Nautilus! He just two-shots her with the ultimate and the Riptide. That means that he can go and get a double kill. Nautilus is getting stronger by the minute. His Rod of Ages is now at full stacks. Aguma does get the shield from his parallel convergence, but he can't really gap those onto such a Crayon. That's why you have Alistar, Minotaur herself, able to
Dredgeline just barely connected
with her orange. And now that does give him their first dragon of the game, second dragon overall. Snapple feeling the pain of this double Iceborne Gauntlet on the enemy team.
Snapple did go for that frozen mallet. And the bait is successful. Will Snapple go down? No, he manages to stay alive. Seki looking to clean up these kills, but unable to do so.
Oh my goodness! I do have to commend Snapple for that flash, pretty nice reaction, but Ilaoi is just a little too clairvoyant for that. Does throw over. Oh man! Freedaholic completely denying Asbury. LeBlanc doesn't quite die, but she's gonna be waddling all the way back to base with her head hung in shame. And that means that Freedaholic is actually gonna be a little bit in danger here. Does not have the ultimate anymore. Actually, she did have the ultimate. I don't know why she didn't use it. Maybe a little bit surprised. Victoria Spook going in this time does get
ultimate only hits one person, granting him one extra tentacle. It's a very lackluster.
She needs to work on her tentacle play. But anyways, Ezreal gonna throw down that true shot barrage through the mid lane. That time it was not very interesting. So Gank by Mom letting us down for one Ezreal ultimate of the game. But I can forgive him for that. SKT Challenger saying, get out of my house. However, LeBlanc, the trickster herself, has teamed up with the enemy wolves and picks up the return kill.
And finally, Abyssal Scepter is finished.
Woo! Round of applause for the Nautilus.
And I believe one's about to be done for release right now. There we go.
There it is, in the flesh itself. Actually, I really hope Abyssal Scepter is not made of flesh. That would be a little creepy.
Yeah, that'd be really weird, but it would kind of fit the Void theme of being really fucking
weird. Poppy actually takes the blue buff for herself, saying, I am the real carry in this game. Sorry, LeBlanc, but all you've been doing recently is dying, so she wants to be able to 1v1 the Alawi. Alawi does have one tentacle up in defensive position there. I can see it curling up, ready to strike at a moment's notice. looks like they are going to go in here. Notorious Spook is going to try to get Cars up with that little spirit, and does pop the ultimate, so multiple tentacles trying to hit, but Cars really nicely juking around pretty often. Maybe not often enough. Looks like they're both getting pretty low here. I don't know who's going to win out here. Oh, no, they're not respecting the 1v1. Asbury, meanwhile, just completely wipes out Gank by Mom. Directed camera didn't even catch that. It was so fast, so... Apparently, Asbury is just hacking the game now, where the directed camera doesn't even pick up action across the screen. So maybe we can remake this, but Asbury getting hit by the dredge line does mean she's going to get completely bursted down. That's going to be another follow-up through Icebound. Once again, Sketchy Challenger's dredge line's up again. There it is. Going to be able to deal a lot more damage. Rita, please, what are you doing? Trying to save her favorite ROM in this game. Actually headbutts into safety. Oh, that dredge line went through the bottle, I think, but ends up in no place after the original one that got spiked. They're actually sticking around here. I don't know if I agree with that because Poppy's now up. She has the teleport.
She's teleporting in from behind.
Here she is. I am completely ready to see her get some beef up herself. But meanwhile, Wow actually goes in completely ham against the enemy team. This is actually a pretty decent response from the red team here. Team Turtle trying to do what they can. They're too slow though. Wow not going to get out.
Yeah, that Poppy W putting in lots of work, denying all these dashes from Wow. I think this is like the 4th time I've seen it be relatively impactful.
That must be super frustrating to play against. A lot of people mostly think about Tristana in terms of her heroic charge and her ultimate, but that W shield, putting in so much work. And I think it's really fortunate that it's on the blue side this time, instead of being able to completely nullify LeBlanc as a champion. I don't think I've actually seen that Poppy LeBlanc matchup in the LCS, because her steadfast presence should be able to interrupt the distortions.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they definitely do, at least on the way in. It's still considered a dash.
It'd be... Oh, there is a Duskblade of Drakthar built for the Poppy in the top lane. Kind of interesting.
Don't really see it being extremely effective, because I don't see Poppy one-shotting anyone, really.
Yeah, it gives you...
a span of 2 seconds.
It gives you a little bit of movement speed. Maybe you can use that to dodge. Oh no, Sergeant Grayon does get that flash out of there. Meanwhile, Gangbang using his evasive spells himself to try to avoid the LeBlanc. Both AD carries getting super low. This is just not a fun time for either of them. However, I think I agree with you. I might rather see the Blade of the Ruin King instead of a Draktharian blade.
Or I would have liked to see a Hex Drinker into a Maw of Mortius. Maw is extremely strong on Poppy.
That too, when you get super low, get those extra stat buffs as well as the lifesteal. Ganked by Mom, where are you going? Maybe he could catch Asbury here. It looks like that's not going to be the case. SKT Challenger goes down himself. That's their mid lane already out of this fight. However, LeBlanc is not here either. Here comes Corky. I don't know if he has the package or not. Looks like he does not. So he is going to be coming in the slow way. Oh, Red Team is already here, though. Testudo, even though they're turtles, they're getting pretty slippery. Rita-holic trying to continue this engage. Looks like it's not going to happen.
Things come out from the red team to do Dragon, but it seems no one agrees with that call. Just really wants to shut down this mid lane.
Oh, Rita actually gets completely interrupted by that steadfast presence from Poppy, so she's not able to follow up with the pulverizer himself. But Cars goes in onto Aigu. Wow, using that attack damage from the Duskblade to finish him off. And oh no, Rita headbutts him away. That's probably the 3rd champion we've seen her save. But the minions are coming in. Isn't enough. Isn't enough. 1 cow against the world, and by the world I mean a very short Yordle with a hammer. Oh, flashes out. I'm not sure if that mystic shot would have hit, but this is a very long journey. Is Nautilus gonna try to flash over? No, he does not have flash. Meanwhile, Asbury trying to finish off Notorious Spook. That is not what's gonna happen. But oh no, he's going back in the middle of the lane. It's gonna fall victim to the... Oh! Complete prediction on that tentacle. That is what I would call an outplay.
Very well played
By both sides. LeBlanc getting killed in the mid lane, but then Poppy able to get away herself. So these players just flexing their muscles.
An extremely hectic, all over the place game. That's what makes these games fun.
Indeed, we're approaching 80 kills now on the board. We right now have 74. With 2 dragons down and only the outer turrets as objectives.
That's pretty much 2 kills, you know, a minute. That's a pretty bloody game. Considering the respawn timers, it pretty much means that at any point in time, there's someone getting ready to kill someone.
Indeed. Looks like Corky is coming out of base, though this time he has a package. Is he going to try to engage on someone? Red team is pinging Dragon. They might try to do Baron if they get wind of this. They are pinging for some help around the edges. But Nautilus does spot out the Braum. And he gets completely stunned up with a concussive blow. So they give away Dragon in exchange for their mid laner. And now Team Trinket is going to be rushing down this Baron.
Rita Holic headbutts their way into the Baron pit.
Just trying to distract them long enough for Notorious Spook to get an engage off. And if Notorious Spook actually does get a good ultimate, that might be the turn point in this fight. However, Ezreal is already down. Everyone is trying to do some damage, but the AoE from LeBlanc is proving to be huge here. Also, keep in mind that Red Team is tanking the Baron at the same time, so Sergeant Crayon not quite able to get the last hit off with his ultimate. Here comes the LeBlanc as Barry wants revenge. He's saying, you killed me, I need to kill you. I actually don't remember if Echo has killed him in this game, but they get the Baron Nashor.
Yeah, kind of a bad decision there in terms of, I guess positioning was kind of what wrecked them there. Blue team definitely had the better positioning on Baron since they were fighting it from the pit on their side of the jungle. So when Red team came, they kind of were forced to be stuck between Baron and the other team. Definitely took a bunch of extra damage from Baron. And all that MR debuff definitely adds up against a Corki, LeBlanc, and a Elise.
Those abyssals, so valuable in that. And we were ragging on the Duskblade of Drakthar, but she survived and they won the team fight, so it's sufficient enough. Maybe not optimal.
I mean, if you go full tank on like Malphite, for example, and build like a Hextech Gunblade and survive, does that mean it's viable?
It means it's not losing you the game, my friend. And now with a really interesting split push. Looks like it's a 1-2-2. Not sure why Braum really needs to be with the LeBlanc, because that does leave cars out in the open a little bit. Corky gonna be in the mid lane. That is a very large Baron minion, but Corky gonna take towers for free. These are some pretty intense macro strategies coming out for an in-house.
Yeah, the banner of command on Elite Jungle. Definitely not the most common thing to see. The banner of command is getting super.
Looks like Notorious Spook is gonna be able to lifesteal a ton against that Poppy. Now we can talk about that Drakthar maybe punishing him a little bit there, because he gets instantly destroyed by that. Seki actually does not get taken down just quite yet. He does have Sergeant Crayon off the backside, rotated from the mid lane, so it is a 2v3. Nobody's gonna fall. They do get all the inner turrets. Well, not all of them. Looks like they still have the top lane. For the red team, Sergeant Crayon does manage to get the Thunderwoods proc onto Iker Wow and burst him down. Snapple trying to get away if he can. Here comes a plug. It is on a killing spree. Is not going to be able to burst her down. She gets super low, but it's just not quite enough. The Abyssal is doing so much work here. Here comes SKG Challenger. Nobody can even dare face his wrath. He goes for a flash stretch line. He actually gets a kill onto Sergeant Crayon. I think that was his ignite. Is he going to get Snapple as well? This astronaut wants blood here. A vampire in space even, I would go so far to say. And now Notorious Spook just gonna wait for that slow to be able to finish.
Apple throwing down the exhaust, hoping it'll save him. Sadly, not the case. but it does, I guess, help a little bit in securing Nautilus, the kill on Nautilus in the end. Another banner of command being dropped down on this huge siege minion. This definitely has to be at least a decent power damage down here. 3 members of Testudo are down, so it is a 3v2 with this nice banner minion to siege this bot wave.
I do like the looks of this flank coming out from Aiguao, but Seki is a little wise, probably the smartest spider I know. We're gonna throw out that ward. They do have a huge wave hitting top, so they don't really need to throw anything at them. Oh my goodness! Asbury getting a little too close. The rest of his team gets a little antsy thinking that they had a free LeBlanc. Speaking of free kills, looks like Cars is going to try to 1v2 here. He's actually winning the 1v2 so far using the ultimate. Double knockup. They go wee all the way home. Speaking of all the way home, so goes LeBlanc. Because if you have engage spells, why would you not engage? That's pretty much the theme of this entire game so far, and I am loving it.
One thing I find a little interesting is how many yellow trinkets the Testudo team has. Team Testudo still has. I think blue trinkets overall are just more efficient. You can have essentially an infinite number of blue trinkets down as long as you constantly use it the second it's up. And the other team has itemized pretty heavily into red trinkets scanning, so you might as well just use the blue trinkets to display themselves. Kind of make their red trinkets useless.
My friend, you're worrying about vision when there are more important things to do, like flash in 1v2 as a support. Or as a jungler, but looks like Aiguao is not 1v2 because he has the rest of his team here. They can pick up 1 kill against Sergeant Brown. He is going to be going down. Meanwhile, in the top side, Cars actually gets his enemy opponent, Ezreal. And now it looks like Notorious Spook going to try to 1v1 Cars here. He is next to 2 tentacles, so that's getting a little bit hairy for him. I don't know who is going to come out ahead. Looks like Notorious Spook is consistently able to land a lot of these tentacles for the sustain. He gets 1 kill despite the Poppy ultimate coming out.
Whew, this game is pretty crazy.
Here comes Aiguao though. He is coming in for more kills himself. He does not think that 12 kills is enough. He's going to try to take this one. Picks it up from his top laner. Gifted him on a aquatic platter, if you would.
Meanwhile, mid lane, they're having some issues playing with Banner of Command since Nautilus's auto attacks do mostly bonus magic damage.
You know, as an astronaut, he's really a proponent of fine engineering. And if you look at this siege minion, it is really the pinnacle of Rift achievement. Unfortunately, when you have a cow, a bull in a space station, if you will, things don't end up too well. He takes out that Banner of Command minion. They're gonna go onto the dragon.
Kind of an interesting choice there from Rita-Holic to use her WQ combo on the dragon. Alistar Alistar has very high mana cost. And in general, you want to conserve as much mana as possible, especially because spamming... I just watched this. Okay. Especially because spamming heal is extremely expensive when it comes to late game, and dragon gets reset.
Is Asbury gonna be able to get it? Not
almost,
quite.
but a good smite for Aiguao.
It's really the thought that counts when you think about it. Oh, that. Oh, Aiguao timing that mystic shot to follow up pretty nicely. LeBlanc doing almost all she could there. Did have the flash. Actually, I think her flash is slight.
Flash is still on cooldown for another.
Just barely. Unfortunate for her. Looks like Rita-Holic is going to go in, though, and Snapple trying to save them, but you cannot block the piercing tentacle. That can go through everything. Aiguao gets stunned under the turret, probably doesn't want to take that inhibitor for too long. Poppy was actually on the bottom side, so she has to use a teleport to get in here quick enough, and wow, actually sends the entire minion back. Pretty interesting way to wave play if you really think about it. Ezreal falls up though with the True Shot Barrage and the Olawi doing enough AoE damage. Seki does try to save himself with that Zhonya's Hourglass. It's not going to be enough. Olawi doing a ton of damage, especially when you have supreme knockdown from the likes of the Alistar and the Astro Nautilus. strange ghosty voices from Alawi's spirit, I think.
Yep.
And that creeps me out.
Yeah,
I feel like I
getting
should.
Eve from Alawi, and if she actually manages to proc the spirit thing, it's very weird. You hear it for like a solid minute where Alawi talking about how he's an inferior non-god thing.
I feel like I don't think I hear other kind of. Oh my goodness, he's saying it again. I'm sorry, Alawi, if I didn't pass the test, but that's gonna be the game. It goes toward Team Testudo. And obviously they won, Richard. C9 High's balls. Look, they have one more kill. The true measurement of skill in
Everyone
League
knows
of Legends.
kills are why you win games, not objectives or anything else.
Actually, a 95 kill game. So that is quite an achievement, really.
And Rita's saying, "Holy cow!" Oh man, what a
Oh
game!
man. Anyways, let's go take a look at the damage dealt to champions. Car's pulling out, carrying his weight, but barely being eked out by those fantastic true shot barrages.
Yeah, Braum actually ended up doing a surprisingly high amount of damage, likely because of his extremely ballsy, tanky, let me go catch people solo and hold them in place for like 5 minutes until my team gets here kind of build.
That's the best kind of build, really. They're definitely kind of creative with that frozen mallet. He actually went for the alacrity boot enchantments, which, I mean, alacrity does give you more movement speed, but why not just build like a righteous glory if you really want that movement speed and engage?
Yeah.
Unless you're trying to disengage faster, but that's
small detail.
Alright, but anyways, that is going to be the spectated game for the UMD LOL channel of the week for College Park League of Legends in-houses. If you guys want to do some games of your own, feel free to join the umcp chat on the League client. And special thanks to our sponsors, Capital One and Counterlogic Gaming, as well as our partners, Discord. If you're not in the Discord channel, then it's on our website, and I'll just link the website because then you can check out all of our cool things. Yeah.
And we highly suggest you use the Discord channel, even if you have your own. It's nice to be able to find other UMD students quickly and play with them. Also, we encourage you to talk and chat about anything and everything. Also, whenever there's LCS, there are LCS hype rooms. If you enjoy watching LCS with other people, which I'm sure many of you certainly do, since we definitely have people come out to our LCS viewings almost weekly at Tenrens. You should definitely join the LCS hype room in the Discord. I'm usually there. Sometimes I'll be in the AFK room, but if someone else is there, I'll definitely be joining, or I'll just join first now and hope other people also follow along.
Alright, well, anyways, thanks for watching. Do be sure to follow this stream because we'll be doing all of the club streams through this, as opposed to before where I would just do it on twitch.tv/Sprintspeed, or if C9 Highs Balls would do it
Pizza
on...
Cat said pizza cat, pizza cat, pizza cat.
Thank you. Thank you for enlightening the stream with your text to speak.
No problem at all.
Anyways, yeah, be sure to follow this instead of the other channels because go Maryland. Actually, yesterday when I was at MagFest, I was eating Chipotle for lunch, and we were sitting outside, and I got to watch Duke lose to Louisville in basketball. So that is fantastic.
Nice.
I generally don't approve of cursing on the streams, but fuck Duke is the saying, as it were.
Said.
There is just you just can't say it any other way, and I think that's the only the only time I'll probably willingly do that. But anyways, yeah, I do want to get some other some in-houses with some of the people that aren't quite diamond, because it can be really awkward and intimidating if you just want to play some casual games and then all of a sudden you have to lane against somebody who's in the top 0.1% of players in the world. So that's...
Yeah, we can definitely get some of those going. If you'd like, I'll participate slash spectate.
Yeah, anyways, I have said goodbye about 4 times now, so I will actually end the stream this time. All right.
Bye.
Farewell.